Hi students, this is an introduction to the new chapter in class 12, electrostatics. Now actually we have heard about electricity in our everyday life. We are using so many electrical appliances in our home. Actually electricity is of two branches. One branch is called static electricity and the other branch is called as current electricity. So these are the two branches of electricity. The first branch, static electricity only, is called as electrostatics. So electrostatics deals with electric charges at rest, whereas current electricity deals with electric charges in motion when charges flow through the conductors like a copper wire. Now we are going to deal with electrostatics, in which we are going to discuss more about the electric charges at rest. Now the concept of electric charge, electric current has not come yesterday or very recently. It has come long back. Even before Christ, BC, the Greek philosopher Thales, he has realized when a material, namely amber. So amber is the name of a material which has been derived from the resins of the tree. So this material was rubbed with a cat's skin. So at that time it acquired some charges. So this happened during the time of Thales, before Christ itself. Afterwards, Anno Domini, that is in the era AD, Gilbert also has realized that when plastic rod or a rubber rod was rubbed with the cotton or fur, the same thing, it acquired some charges. Later, Benjamin Franklin also realized that when glass rod was rubbed with the silk, so it acquired some charges. So, it is found from all these observations that when one material is rubbed against another material, some charges are being transferred from one material to the other material and it acquires some electric charges. These charges cannot flow over long distances and they are considered to be at rest. Hence they are called as static charges. So today we are going to take one or two examples. Say, for example, I will take a glass rod. A glass rod is rubbed with silk cloth, okay, silk cloth. Now in this case what is going to happen, let us see. So glass rod is a solid, okay, it's a solid rod, and silk is also a solid which is in the form of a cloth, okay. So this is a silk cloth like this. Let us take this is a silk cloth. So this is a silk and this is a glass rod. Now when two materials are rubbed against each other, the atoms of glass rod and the atoms of a silk cloth are coming into direct contact with each other. So the electrons of the silk and the electrons of the glass atoms, they are going to interact with each other, and due to a property called electronegativity of each material, one material has to lose some electrons to the other material and the other material is going to gain the electrons whichever is lost by the first material. Now in this combination of glass rod and the silk cloth, the atoms of glass are going to lose some electrons. They are going to lose some electrons to the silk cloth. As a result, the glass rod is acquiring a positive charge. Actually, it is not taking the positive charge from the silk cloth. Since it is losing the negative charge to the silk cloth, it is equivalent to acquiring a positive charge. Okay, students? So, it is acquiring a positive charge by losing the negatively charged electrons to the silk cloth. Since silk atoms are receiving more and more electrons from the glass rod, the silk cloth is said to be negatively charged. But if you count the total number of charges present in the glass rod and the silk cloth before rubbing as well as after rubbing, the net charge in this closed system consisting of silk cloth and the glass rod, it remains constant. The total charge has not changed. It is only the transfer of charges which is taking place. So, the glass rod has given some negative charges to the silk cloth, and that is why silk is said to be negatively charged and the glass rod is said to be positively charged. So this method of charging a body by striking against another body, this is also called as frictional electricity. So this is also called as static electricity or frictional electricity. So whenever one material is rubbed against another material due to friction, some charges are being transferred. So this also is getting another name. It is also called as a triboelectric charging. Triboelectric charging. So there are different names for this static electricity. Static electricity is also called as frictional electricity or triboelectric charging. This is one example where a glass rod is rubbed with the silk. So glass acquires a positive charge and silk acquires a negative charge. Like this, some other examples if you take means you can take that ebonite rod, okay, ebonite rod, and it is rubbed against wool or fur. So the ebonite rod is acquiring a negative charge and wool acquires a positive charge. So like that, the rubber, I can take a rubber rod, okay, rubber rod which is rubbed against flannel or fur or wool. So this rubber rod acquires a negative charge where the fur acquires a positive charge. So the nature of the charge acquired by any substance, whether it acquires a positive charge or it acquires a negative charge, is not fixed always. It depends upon the nature of the material against which any substance is rubbed. So it depends again of the electronegativity of the materials. So for example, I can consider that when a glass rod and silk is taken as an example, in this case glass is acquiring a positive charge and the silk is acquiring a negative charge. Similarly, when ebonite rod is rubbed against wool, the ebonite rod is charged with negative charges and the wool is positively charged. So rubber against fur, rubber is negatively charged and fur is positively charged. So here we must know that there is only a transfer of charges from one body to the other body. We are not creating the charges from nowhere. We are not creating the charges, simply we are shifting the charges from one body to the other body. So this method of charging only is called as static electricity or frictional electricity or triboelectric charging. Okay, now one small exercise I am going to give you. For example, let us consider the case where this glass rod is rubbed against silk. Now let us consider that the glass rod has acquired a positive charge of 8 into 10 to the power of minus 12 coulomb. So C stands for coulomb. Coulomb is the SI unit for the charge. We have studied in the 10th standard also. So coulomb is the unit for the electric charge and this plus is the symbol for the positive charge. So how much positive charge this glass rod has acquired? So how many number of electrons it has lost to the silk we can find out. So for that we can take that is a Q. The quantity of charge is always expressed as integral multiples of the fundamental charge of an electron, that is E. So this Q is what? 8. 8 into 10 to the power of minus 12 is the quantity of charge acquired, and how many number of electrons it has lost is N into the charge of each electron is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb. So I want to find how many number of electrons N here. Therefore I will calculate the number of electrons here. So n is equal to 8 into 10 to the power of minus 12 divided by 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. So this can be written as 80 by 16. So this can be written as 80 divided by 16 into this 10 power minus 19 comes up as a plus 19. Okay, so this is minus 12. So 16 5s are 80. So this is equal to 5 into 10 to the power of 19 minus 12 is equal to 7. So this many number of electrons. Okay, students. So when a glass rod is rubbed with the silk cloth, definitely it is losing some electrons. As a result, it is becoming positively charged. So in this example, how many number of electrons it is losing, whether it is gaining or losing? Since it is positively charged, no, this number of electrons are being lost by the glass rod. This type of questions will come in the NEET as well as the JEE. Have you all understood, students? Okay, fine.